How you doing, Kevin?
I'm well. How old are you?
35.
All right. And what are women getting wrong today?
I think it's the feminine aspect. Um, in general, I was married for 6 years.
Okay.
I have two kids out of that marriage, and from what I see, most of the time, in relationships past that and with that, is just that feminine side of things. They want to kind of take over. At a certain point when a man tries to allow them to have a voice, allow them to, try to make some decisions together and do some things, and just the nagging overall.
Okay. Okay. Let's make it clear. Are you saying that women have a problem with the feminine aspect? But are you saying it sounds like you're saying women are being masculine?
Yes, women are being too masculine.
All
Absolutely.
right. And then you said something about when you allow them to say again that you allow them to what?
To have more of a say so in the
More of a say so in what regard?
um I would say just in the aspect of they want certain things to transpire, like maybe you helping out with certain aspects of the child care, or you helping out with certain aspects of just around the house things.
Well, I don't understand where a woman can be inner masculine by asking you to help with the kids. So I'm not being clear. What are you allowing her more latitude with that's in the masculine realm?
I would just say just feeling like they're the one in control of certain things,
Such as?
such as with the kids, with the kids, or just in,
Such as?
such as, let's say, how the child should be bathed, or how the dishes should be washed, or where they should be put. It's the tone.
He's all over the place right now. I see what Kevin's getting at, but he's all over the place right now. He's not being clear. I think he's conflating a couple of issues.
But what I'm not understanding, brother. That's
I don't get it either.
that's the purview of women. Like why do we have any input in that at all?
That's my thing. If the man is already handling the situation, but they
Okay.
want,
But
if,
why are you handling it?
why? Because in my situation, I was able to be home more often.
But that's not your see, listen to what I'm about to say. You said that women are problem with the femininity and they're being too masculine, but you're in her territory.
Ooh.
What you just described was a man who was not in his masculine. You were in the feminine space. And you can't be tripping that a woman treated you like a woman in her space.
So
Just because you were home.
not really home, but I mean,
It doesn't matter. That's her space. Women, let's say you were rich, right? You could still be home. You know, just like I know, women have a different way of nesting. They like the house to look a certain way. We're supposed to be responsible for the outside, and they're responsible for the inside. They like the pillows fluffed a certain way, this, that. And just because you can fluff a pillow, that's their job. You ain't asking her to cut the yard or edge it, are you? I mean, she could do it, but you know how to do it different. You're in her space.
and I would say also the aspect of being able to take in information. I heard what you said to the last person. As the general, are you giving out, what I'm saying, the right orders, and measuring those things? And I saw it as I aligned everything, biblically, as I was giving out, you know, those types of things. And she was submissive in the beginning. We
Wait,
last
wait, giving her information. What kind of information are you talking about then?
information such as maybe different ways to handle finances, different ways.
Whose job is that to handle the finance?
I mean, we
Oh, he said handling finances. All right, you lost me, brother. You lost me, brother. Um, a man should be a provider, in my opinion. We provide. I get in early situations, especially when we're young, we might not have the funds yet, but we still should conduct ourselves or handle ourselves in a way where we can actually show it. Show that we can actually handle a situation. So when he says conducting finances, okay, if y'all share an account and she's spending too much of the money, I get what you're saying. But if you're talking about sharing 50%, how are you running stuff, brother? How are you running stuff? You can't run nothing when you're doing 50%. There's plenty of ways to get around that, but you can't run nothing if it's 50-50. If she is putting an equal amount of finances into a situation, how can you control her 50% when you're both or even? Again, I'm going. This is my first time seeing this video, so I could be off, but I'm gonna see what he says next. Hold up.
This is a good conversation because you mentioned biblically, but I've mentioned this before. Oftentimes we overload our women doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Pressure's made for shoulders, not for hips. Did you have an abundance of finances?
Not at that time. Now I do.
All right, so that's a pressure situation. You're involving a mother in stressful financial decisions. Could you have handled them yourself?
Yeah, I think I could.
And why didn't you handle it yourself? Because again, I feel like if you take away certain stress from a woman, then she's going to give you more leniency. She's going to give you more like, all right, you got this, because you're taking care of stuff. You're taking shit off her plate. But you cannot say you're the provider. You cannot take a position of more when you're doing equal. Because I think the reason why he's even doing stuff in her space because he's doing equal amount of things. So if we're sharing finances, then okay, now I'm gonna jump in washing the dishes. I'm gonna jump into this. I'm gonna jump into women territory. But really, if you handle shit and you provide shit in a certain way, you won't even need to jump in that place. You won't even need to do none of that stuff. And I think, I'm not even gonna go through the whole video because I see what's happening at this point. But I think what Kevin's trying to say is like, look, listen, just fuck it. What I'm trying to say is, my man, like, that sounds like early 18s, 19, 20-year-old, 21-year-old, like, you just got out of college, you just getting your funds together type of stuff. When you went with a woman at that time, you're thugging it together. You're working it out together. She can still give you a respect and show you her woman qualities as far as what she's willing to do for you when you really get there. But in strenuous situations, especially when it comes to finances, if you don't make her feel secure enough to give away that power, she won't give it away. See, the thing about it is, if you have a woman who's willing to be submissive, when you do your job, she'll be submissive. She'll be absolutely submissive. She'd be willing to like, all right, he got this. He's displayed the ability to do this. He's made me feel comfortable enough to give in. But when you're sharing stuff, she's not comfortable. That's like me getting hurt. I'm hurting my knee. I know you make $11 an hour at wherever you work at, and you're telling me I got this. Yeah, no, you don't got this. I'm stressed out. I don't know if you can do this because I know how much you make. I know what you're doing, and I know you can't really accomplish more than that. So why would she give that to you, brother? For one, if you're not able to provide to the, if you're not willing to, or not, if you're not able to provide in the capacity that she wants, she's not gonna give something over. Period. You're giving her extra work to do. And we should not have to jump into a woman's job so we can feel like, well, see, I took over your job for you to make you feel better. What? No, that's not how it works, brother. I don't got to hear this whole video to understand. Listen to what you said. And bear in mind, it sounds to me like he's speaking more in past tense, but regardless of it, that's the subject right now. I'm going to tell all the young brothers in this world, all the men in this world, listen to me. until you're in a position of being a provider, and I'm not saying you have to provide every single bill under the fucking sun. I'm just saying until you notch off that check on that checklist of her feeling like, okay, he's a provider, she will not give in. And if you are sharing the loads, you're sharing the loads. And when you step into her territory, that's her territory. Give her space. If you can't give her space, then you can't ask for submissiveness. And that is the message of the video. I don't need everything else to it. I truly don't. Because I guarantee you, without even watching the whole video, I guarantee you, Kevin goes there. And believe it or not, ladies, you might not like Kevin Samuels because he holds a lot of you accountable. He actually